A Turn in Life by Eunice Akargbo. Imagine you're trying to grasp something for the first time. You tried all you could, but you just can't get it. This happened to me in 5th grade. When my elder brother had to put on the chair close to the dinner table at home to learn everything about school night. Have you ever had a time in your life when you were forced to learn something for the first time, and you felt like you needed time to do that? What if you were not given the time needed? If you have never found yourself in such a situation, you're probably not just getting it. Well, what if you find yourself in a situation where you are asked to drink hot water right away? Do you think you can do that? 360 degrees boil water, just from the kettle? No amount of intelligence or innovation would help you do this without any of these sources, like a cooler, refrigerator, and any other external sources. Some interesting responses I got from some of my friends whenever brought up this. Anyone that ever asked you to drink that high degree of hot water you mentioned is a crazy and callous person, because that's like asking for the impossible. Limu J, a close friend, remarked, "If I were you, I would have quit because no one on earth can do that," said Moses, a friend from high school. Well, that was the situation my elder brother put me through when I was in 5th grade. I have said this, I would have quit if I had the option to. My home turned into hell, a place where I never wanted to go after school. Come to think of it, my brother wanted me to memorize, read, and repeat all that I did in school each day. Each day after school I have an hour to eat and get ready for my studies. Starting from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m., my brother would check every subject I had in school for what? On average, I used to have 6 subjects and sometimes, even more, each day at school. He would have a cane with him and would gauge the content covered in school. Let's say ADH, he would say you must solve from question 1 to 10. Punishment is tailored to the number of wrong answers at the end. I got spanked every day after school. I would sit in class and myself would be thinking about what to myself like at home. My happiest days were the activities. When we used to stay in school for hours after normal school hours. I wish we stay here forever, I used to say to myself. When he travels, that's the most amazing time I had at home. Like when the mouse celebrates when the cat is away. The cat? Yes, he was like the cat. This is the brother who beat the school out of me. The brother who flipped my excitement about going to school. The brother who made me understand the difference between a good and bad teacher. Snatched my childhood away. After school, my friends in the neighborhood would come to pick me up to go play, but my brother would say no, Eunice, I got schoolwork. He might join you guys later, he told them. Tamba, my best childhood friend, once cried at him, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. My brother would respond, well, all play and no hard work make you all stupid boys. His pedagogy started fading out on me. No progress at all in my schoolwork. Instead, it caused a drastic decline in my grades. One key main reason for this was my attention to him to shift from all my activities for the 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. hours with my brother. My mom became concerned over my performance in school lately and she asked him to do something better. My brother was a bit uncomfortable with me at that time. In a high tone one time he said to me, I will have to summon you to your teacher if your grades don't improve on your next quizzes. In Sierra Leone, when you are told you would be summoned to your teacher means you are in trouble. A big cause for concern. My class had 126 of us and a single teacher, Mr. Lavaline. After the scary message from my brother, I did all I could, but I just couldn't get it. Many subjects a day, too much content in each subject for me to understand in just 4 hours. This left me with the conviction that education wasn't for me. I stopped making effort. I preferred the sparking and my body got adjusted to it. Bad and wicked brother, evil and heartless he was. I wish I never knew him. This brother finally took me to school. He held me by the right hand and right into my classroom. It was like the world was falling, my heart pumps at an unexplainable rate. Sir, here is my brother, I have huge concerns to bring to your attention about him, he said to Mr. Lavalai, who strangely looked at me. Are you in my class? He asked. Yes, sir, I slowly responded. That's clear enough that Mr. Lavalai has too much in his class to recognize all. He asked me to take the front seat while he talks to my brother. What could brother was telling him was my biggest curiosity. I know he would tell him I am not serious, I like to play too a lot, I don't like him because I see him as a bad person. I guessed slowly within me. Coming back from the meeting, Mr. Lavalai said to me, your concerns have met me, we need to talk during the break. I became more frightened. This time I felt like running home, but guess whom I will meet at home? The bad guy. I knew I was in the middle of two hot gooses, the one at home with my brother and now it's at school. Here he is, from now henceforth you should always sit in the front row. He had long discussions with me asking what my challenges were, and what he could do to help me in and out of class. I explained everything that happened to every day after school. One thing I need off my back is that of my brother, I slowly told Mr. Lavalai with a shaking voice. He assured me of that. I can't believe my ears. Not until that evening at home my brother said to me, my hands are off you. Your teacher would handle you properly. He was saying it in a way as if I was going to receive more punishment from my teacher. Mr. Lavalai identified what learner I was, and taught me techniques to learn anything faster and last remember. He did some practice with me, and that sparked my brain. Content I used to take forever to understand came in minutes, all that happened during break time. That special time and moment changed my life. As those techniques did not only help me ace my grade at that time, but have also been helping throughout my educational path. That break time was a life turning point. Interestingly, what a bad teacher couldn't do in years was done by a good teacher in minutes. It's not how long you engage a student, but how best you engage the student. If you pass out a message leaving your audience confused, you might want to vet your communication skills. A good teacher is a brain opener. A bad teacher asks you to do it. A good teacher doesn't just ask you to do it, but he tells you how you could do it. A bad teacher starts by throwing the contents on you. A good teacher starts by identifying which type of learner you are. A bad teacher sees you as unserious and playful when your grades go low, but a good teacher asks you what's wrong and how he could help you. Thanks to that awful experience with my brother, now I can go on and contrast a good teacher and the bad one. A few months later my elder brother had to relocate to another city. I almost throw a party. Since then, I haven't dared to share with him my remarkable progress in school. Imagine how children out there have switched career paths and ended up on some path they never dreamed of. Some dropped out of school and graduate with poor grades because of a bad teacher. These bad teachers are in homes, schools, high learning institutions, etc. It's sad that most of the time students are the ones being described as not taking their academic work seriously, excluding the bad teachers completely. I grew up and later came to realize that my brother had wanted the best for me, but it's just he was a bad teacher. However, I am grateful for that awful experience he put me through, which later turned my educational path for good.